Good evening, guys. Kenneth Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for May 30th, 2023. We'll start with the hybrid swing and Alcoa and 30-minute. So we're really covering the last 2 days. This was Friday, and then this is today for Tuesday. So Alcoa, we started with a collapsing dragon, standard risk. After the RL10 reversed, I took the exit right here for about +2 and no overnight risk. All the metals were weak. Now, this is one that I hope you got. We spent a lot of time last week covering this one. It was part of the flashcard drill for management over the weekend. This is AI company, C3.ai. And what we had on this one was from Thursday, an initial PSAR flip that looked just like everything else. And then Friday, it started working well, so we added a second position, and it closed really well. And at this point right here, we made a decision to hold that. It was something like 13R in hand. And we said from our analysis that 40, 45, and 50 were in play based on the fact that it had cleared all previous resistance. And then we got this gap up. So when you take a look at that little risk box, that gap has a value of about 4, 5, 6, 7. On two positions, that's about an additional 14R gap. 7R on two positions. And then it briefly sold off and then continued up, so I added a third position. There's an intraday COTA 2, a fourth position, and another COTA 2 closing well. And then in the last 30 minutes, I just couldn't take it anymore, and I exited half the position, took off two of the positions right here, and so that's at 27. This thing has got to be about +40, and still got two full positions, and we're only at 44. So 50 is still within range in this thing, but I felt like I didn't want to have 4 standard positions on it. So that's about 40. Conservatively, that's 40R in a couple days. I almost want to just say, well, then, and that concludes my remarks. But they all look the same leaving the station. So no trade in Caterpillar. Cliff, we took the standard exit here. This thing worked up and then broke down through the dragon, hit the PSAR, so we took a 0.5 gain on that one and no overnight risk. CVS, the SSC that we started here on Thursday, the 1, 2, 3, and that closed pretty well, gap down, so we took a -1 loss on that one. I thought strongly about putting that one on, but I just felt like tomorrow's going to happen soon enough. So -1 on CVS. Dish Network, no trade. I like the compression here. We're getting this nice tight compression box in here, and that feels like a zero state, which could break out in either direction. And the idea on that would be to get long at about 6 3/4 or short at 665. That should be red, sorry. So that's where the intraday would be. And then add a second position if this collapsing dragon fails. So put a second position short here with a target of down here. And then your second position on the long side would be a clearing of the PSAR and the R10 peak. And that's where you'd put, so you'd have one position long to here, and then it breaks above today's high and then breaks above this. That's where you'd add a second position at $7. And you'd be looking for a 10-day high up around 7.5. Devon Energy missed the short. So we were short last week on this one. Exited in here on Friday. And then here was the gap down and the sell-off, and just missed that short altogether. But to be honest, was pretty focused on AI today. Electronic Arts. This was it felt like a perfect 2-day trade to me. So we took the PSAR flip and breakout here on what I treated as a COTA 2. It had cleared this. Standard risk. Closed pretty well on Friday. Gapped up, sold off, and just monkeyed around. And then this range compression said, look, you had plenty of time to go, but you didn't. And I don't want to tolerate weakness. So we just took a 2R win and then no overnight risk. Emerging markets, we were long on the gap and go from Friday, which closed well. Today it gapped down and sold off to here, so we captured +1. It continued to fail, so I took that as the standard short with the standard risk. It sold off hard and then just gave an orderly close right here, so I decided to cash 2. And this may act as a support here. So tomorrow this could actually come through the PSAR. This could be a PSAR flip and go tomorrow if there's strength. By the same token, if this thing fails through the R10, then we want to be short. And then if it breaks through a 10-day low, we want a second position. If it breaks through a 30-day low, we want a third position. So that could manifest to a move of that magnitude if that started selling off like that. On the other hand, if this does hold here, then we actually have like a lazy COTA 2 to the upside. So that one should be in play tomorrow. See which way the indexes want to go. This is Ethereum. We got one position on like an intraday morning hook. So this gapped up to here, so rode up, sold off, and then started to resume. And this was like a 1, 2, 3 entry above the PSAR flip, above the R10. So put the standard risk on it, and it closed really well. And we're holding +2, and more to follow. We exited the 2 position long in Mexico. I missed the short, but I like the consolidation, so that's going to be in a 0 state for tomorrow with a nice tight risk box here, ready to go either direction. And as usual, I'll add a second position short here or a second position long here above the R10. Brazil took the gap and drop. So this is where it closed. It gapped down to here and started selling off. So we took the short, standard risk. It didn't really panic collapse, and so when this reversed and came back and hit the edge of the dragon, we just took a 0.5 win. No overnight risk. Intel, sweet. Friday, we held our nose and we played the PSAR flip with the standard risk. It closed very well, and then today it gapped up and continued to go. So we're actually holding this one with overnight risk on that much risk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first one is +7, and the second one is +2. So we're holding 9R on 2 positions, and it's getting ready to test this 10-day high, and I will add a third position above 30.50. I like it. I'll use the PSAR as the exit, so that puts the second position in the money. IP, we took the intraday 1R gain. It was a gap down and drop, collapsing dragon. It didn't fail further, so just got out of it for +1. IYR, we closed the long position from Thursday. It ran all the way up to here, then started selling off. That's a 1, 2, 3 exit, and that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, +5. And that is kind of timed it just right for the, the summer. Spring goes into summer and then starts rolling into fall. That makes this the logical exit up in that area. Really, this was a money management stop because of the dragon horns. KRE, no trade. McDonald's, no trade. Merck initiated a short holding +2, collapsing dragon. Microsoft, we terminated the 3-day. This was a morning hook, a 1, 2, 3 entry on a tight risk, and it closed well, and then it gapped up, sold off, and just right here, couldn't take it any longer. We could give it a little more room because we only had one position on it. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's +8R in 3 days on Microsoft, for crying out loud. So there's more to come on that one. Their cooperation with NVIDIA is going to be large. Marijuana. So we were short on Friday, and today on the gap up and go, it took the scratch exit. It continued to go, so we put the risk box on it, and it closed well. When this rolled over, took it at the edge of the dragon. No overnight risk, +1, a gift. And that exits perfectly at the peak of the summer, rolling into the fall. That's like at the 12 o'clock position. Here's 9 and here's 12. And so that thing peaks and then starts to collapse. That just feels like a natural place to get out. NVIDIA continued to do well. That was the big gift last week. Holy smokes, that was 20+R. And then this was the continuation from Friday that closed really well. Today it gapped up and then couldn't really do anything. When this rolled over, I took the exit here for 1, 2, +3 on that swing. This feels like it's fully valued now. Now maybe there's more, but it feels like it's back to a regular trade as it stands right now. Clean energy. This was a Friday COTA 2. There was actually a PSAR flip, and we took the intraday COTA 2, standard risk. It closed here. Today it gapped to here, ran up, held, and then kept running. I wouldn't be offended if you took that exit, but we had some money to play with, and this gives us a +2 on that one position. That feels pretty good. Rivian, we had 2 positions long, one from, let's see, that's Thursday. That's Wednesday. And then Thursday was good. Friday, continuation. Today it gapped up all the way to here to a new 10-day high and then started to sell. And I wanted to keep that second position in the money. And as this came through the dragon, just took the exit. And the first position scores +5. Second position scores +1. So that's +6. If you guys aren't trading the 30-minute bars, I don't know why. Treasuries, continuation entry from Friday's 2 hour gain. We kept that. Uh, we wanted to be flat over the weekend. It continued to follow through, so we gave up that much, but we just put the position on, and it's another +2. And I don't mind the no overnight over the weekend risk. So Treasuries is working. Tesla. Uh, Friday's entry on the gap and go is holding 1, 2, 3, 4, is holding +4 on one position, and that feels pretty good. It has cleared all previous resistance. There's your 30-day high made today, and if it gets above 205, that's good to go. And then finally, U.S. Steel. That was the long gift we took last week on Thursday. Friday was nothing. Today was a gap down, risk box short, and then took it at the edge of the dragon when the R10 rolled over for +2. So a pretty good day of harvesting the crops. Pretty pleased with that performance. And then AI was just off the chart. I mean, Microsoft, NVIDIA, AI. That's your three-headed monster. We're going to look at one of my brother's charts here. He sent me some charts on AI. On the 9-day, AI is just now entering the 9-day spring. So that thing is still in the early days. Like if we go out far enough. And as you know from this weekend when you studied these charts that we showed, and I spent almost 45 minutes discussing, as you know, it just on the 9-day moved into the summer, actually.
Yeah, summer.
So
Sorry.
that is so good. 50 is in range.
So for those folks on base camp or campfire, this thing can go to 200, guys. It's not. So you got a 5-1 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got the stable zone is about at 70
Yeah,
right there, where that PSAR, the peak of the PSAR. Everything before that is kind of IPO madness. But after the sell off, when this is the end of the lockup period, when everybody could cash in their initial
yeah, yeah. We could
it
certainly see.
stabilizes here and sells off from about 70 to 10.
Is there a VWAP on that? Can you put a VWAP on that?
No, not yet. It's the VWAP doesn't really work on daily charts.
Okay.
The best thing to do on that is the RL 270. It works better than a VWAP does.
Okay.
And if we look at that on the RL 270, just a minute.
Yeah. So for the folks on
Yeah, the
I
270
loaded
is
a
not in
little
play yet.
video.
It doesn't have 270 bars of
Yeah.
9-day bars yet.
Yeah.
But if you look on the 3-day, there may be enough. No, not quite. It has a 90. Um, but if you look on the daily, we probably have enough. Yeah, it's above its long-term fair value now.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, I mean, it could be a reversion trade. It might get
yeah, to me,
get around
80
60 and start
is
chilling.
the upper region on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would really just I'd almost go with like 65, 50 on the near term, and then 65 second step. If it gets above this peak, which is at 72, then it has a real chance to go. But
Yeah. Well,
that rising, the volatility expanding in our favor just makes this asymptotically good.
you can see in the video. I don't know if you want to upload my video or not?
I'll put it in Patreon.
Okay, because I put it on Basecamp for folks, just to see what I was looking at
In
on Saturday.
Campfire.
The Campfire, I'm sorry, Campfire.
Okay.
And just to show when I release that that 3.9 in the advanced sniper stuff, what we'll be able to do looking for stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I mean AI is just it's got every reason to love it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Back to the sniper trade today. So now we're on 3 minutes. We're now on it for intraday stuff. This is 3 minute charts, pure intraday, and we're looking at AI again because it's on our radar. So here was the close. This was the gap up. The blue box is the OR3. So when it breaks out of that, we're ready to go in either direction. So we're long. Check or hold. And that's a 50-cent risk box. And so after the first bar, you should be at no lose plus dinner for two. I mean, your open risk, excuse me, your open risk on this trade is about a minute. That's how long your capital is at risk. 1 minute. And now it's just a science project. Standard exit for +3. I am only interested on the long side on this one. There's a COTA 2. It immediately fails for -1. Immediate re-entry on the COTA 2 resumption. For +1. COTA 2 re-entry, scratch. COTA 2 re-entry for +3. COTA 2 re-entry for +6. So only on the long side on this thing, and only trading COTA 2, this is +3, -1, +1, scratch, +2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +5, sorry. So that's 7, 8, 7, and 3 is 10. And that goes a lot. That's 10 intraday to go along with the 40R on the swing. And the overnight risk on the two positions on the swing are fully funded with the money that we made just today. Hybrid swing. All right, looking at the traders now. Let's see who this was. This is Steve. Let's see. Where's my... So here's the opening. When you on this kind of gap up and outside the Z3 and it rolls over, all I can see is this. Short. And if you get out here, the resumption right here at the collapsing dragon gives you all of that. And here's the PSAR flip for -1. Here was a re-entry, which would have led to +4. This is Tim. There's his OR3, and he takes the 1-2-3 short, crushes it, tries the long. I think you stuck around too long. This is supposed to go right away. It doesn't. So you can get out when it goes through the dragon for half an R, and you can get short here, and now this 0.2 becomes a 0.7. So instead of losing 1 and gaining 0.2, this would be minus 0.5 and plus 0.7. So you would be netting plus 0.2 versus losing 0.8. And that's a full 1R difference because you're making a half an R cut on 2 positions. Still, net's 0.4 for the day. Don't believe in the trade. 2.7 on Alcoa. He out-traded me on this one. Here's the OR3, crushes it. Continuation gets paid, takes the SSC, 2.7 and 3 for the day. Just exactly right. Well done. Damien, S&P on 1 minute. Here was the big gap up. It rolls over. It comes through the dragon and the PSAR flip, so he's short and makes 0.7. Collapsing dragon short makes 0.75. Collapsing dragon short makes 0.7, 0.7, 0.75, and 0.5. So, and then another one over here for 3.5 for the day. Just following the signal. Why not? All right, so this is Brian, and he's restricting his trading to the early first couple hours. Let's see. So here's a PSAR flip. He waits for the Kata 2. Quick scratch, or actually micro win. It fails at the Bollinger Band mean, comes back through the dragon. He's short. It runs down. He decides to make some bank, makes 0.67. So he grinds for 0.8. And we'll take that. But notice, he notices this now, and the R10 doesn't cross the baby dragon until all the way down here. So that would have been the big trade of the day. Constantine, he's our prop trader, working with his standard gold US dollar on the 2 minute. It's the same trade he always takes. There's a fake out Globex range, which here's the range. It fakes up and then breaks down, so he gets short and exits here 5R, and he had a profit target of 5R. Patience, discipline, fearless execution. He's optimized that for his time and his skill set. All right, Hamad. Let's see what we got here. Probably too many symbols for efficient trading today, but that's how you build up your cardiovascular system, to increase your span of control, total immersion. So if that's the strategy, that can work. Has a wide risk box to the PSAR. That's correct. Here's leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. Feel how that's rolling over? That's a great exit. 1.3.
I really like how he's using the MACD down there. If you see the dots when it crosses.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I'm looking for. long emerging dragon at 570. So that's this, okay. And then closes it. I guess I'm seeing an exit here. And then a re-entry here and an exit here. I mean, you are trading so tight inside the... Like, if this is 1.0, I'm not sure I see how that is a 0.7. If this is a full 1.0, there's no way that is 2/3 of that box. So use standard risk, and that way these tiny little things where you are trading in the long sideways quiet channel, I guess if this was a Z3, you don't even get the entry till up in this bar, so that I'm not sure what that entry even is. But that is between, you're getting long at Z1 and getting out at the Bollinger Band mean. That is the very definition of sideways quiet channel. I'm not sure why we're trading in this range at all, especially when we get back 1.3. That's going to be the same thing on Brazil.
Yeah.
This one here, look, if we're short here, we were in the money about 0.5. It had 6 bars to fail. It didn't, so maybe that's a good scratch. On the other hand, it's only a minus 0.2, so that's fine. At least we didn't chase. On this one, I think that's late getting in. I'd like to see you get short right again right there, or on this reversal on that PSAR flip. Both of those feel like better reasons to get short than this one. If you're forcing the trade, then you got to come to the tightest pinch, which is here, and then you say, here's a Z3 breakout, and then if you use the PSAR, that would scratch. So there just wasn't much room inside that at all. What you want to be mindful of is that this is the only trade where it's out of the Red River and reversing.
Yeah.
This short right here is nothing. It's in the spring, but it's on the north side of the... It's not even winter until it gets down to about... Well, nowhere. It's not even in the winter at all. Yeah, so this is legitimate. I don't think either one of those is a trade according to a signal. All right, this is Eversource Energy. I don't know who these guys are. Are they a large cap? If they're not a large cap, then they don't abide by the statistical power of markets and sectors. So OR3 short. We were almost +1 on this one, and we let it go from +1 to scratch. Yeah. So we gave back. It gave us +1 in 3 bars, and then we waited 10 bars to give it all back. Late getting in, then stuck around way too long. I like this re-entry. If you were going to re-enter here, you might have gotten paid. I don't know what this company is, and it doesn't look like it's following the indexes. So if it's not a large cap, I am reluctant to trade it. Alcoa, on the other hand, this is what large caps do. They trade so much volume that you get paid here. That's a good try. Now, this is late to get in, but you still got paid. Good quick scratch. Now, this is a stop and reverse, but that's still pretty good. Total 1.2. That's okay. So you're trading a lot of symbols, and there's some imprecision in them. So this is a span of control issue. DIA. I like the. I like this short because you're. I like that short. It's when this doesn't fail right away and comes back up. Let's get rid of that at the dragon spine. I like that re. If that was a re short, which I think it is, that gets paid. And on this one, you're already past the Z3, and so we gave back and a full R right there. This is late getting in, but I understand it because you're waiting for your Z3 excursion. And then this fails right away, so I'd take it up in here. Then this is late getting in. Not painful. Devon Energy. Yeah, there was a Kata 2 that pays you. Here's the pinch. And that's your emerging dragon and Kata 2, which gets paid. This one also would have done the same thing. You have the sell off. You have a PSAR flip here. You have a Kata 2. One, two, three, four, and then fails. So here's a collapsing dragon. Smash. Here's a PSAR flip. It works. Wait, you're trading inside of the chop. Give it the first move. Let's see a harsh winter. Hey, here's a harsh winter. You even noted where it flips into the spring outside the Red River. There's a 1, 2, 3 and a PSAR flip, and you get paid on that one. So trade the pattern. See a harsh winter, see it reverse to spring, trade the RLXD, and go. Trade the pattern. Tesla, same thing. Here's a harsh winter. There's your spring. Harsh winter outside of the Red River. PSAR flip. There's your long. Let's see, what was this? Is this you, Bill? Yeah. All right. So this is the
Yeah, what I was showing,
9 day.
just showing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the 3 day, 9 day. In the
Right.
summer. The sorting criteria on the left. Just wanted to show how tech. That's sorting everything in the S&P 500 as to what's in the summer and the 9 day and in the daily for signals, right? And that's, I mean, everything except for XLK. Well, XLK. I mean, it's all tech all the time. So when you have the double green dots on 9 day and on the
And
daily,
daily.
I mean, that's the stuff that's moving. There's what I like. The other one I like is 9 day daily. The 9 day spring and daily spring. I like looking at that. And then I also, there's lots of different combinations in there, but
Yep.
that's how I'm finding this stuff.
Yeah. So this is early days in AI still, although
Yeah,
the last 2 days have brought it to everybody's attention.
yeah.
So it's going
So
to get
tomorrow could
progressively
be,
harder. It's getting progressively harder now.
yeah, and that's just me adding the second position today
Yep.
on the 3 day.
Yep. And the point to note on that, by the way, is
The 2 hour
that,
battle
that
drill.
that first entry was at 25, and
Yeah,
now it's at 44.
for 29%. I think I had it set on,
Plus
yeah.
plus $19. Yeah, on a $9 risk.
300 shares each.
Yep. Yep.
So,
All right, so that's that. Let's get the report up. All right, so we're still bullish quiet. Pretty powerful positioning. Volatility is still giving us a little bit of warning about risk off, but there's some expanding volatility in our favor in tech. Some warnings on euros and the globals for opportunities to the upside. They've had a pullback and a recovery, so they're in good shape. Dow Tactical or large cap tactical. Apple, big breakout. Nvidia smashing things left and right. Tesla enraged. Energy weakness, Devon, Coca-Cola, Merck, and Procter. So that's the conventional, the staples. Staples, medical, plus energy, all down, but tech, enraged, and upside. So that just means we'll see more energy rolling into discretionary tech. In the ETFs next. The Qs made a big breakout. XLK made a big breakout. Weakness here in the metals and mining. That's where that Alcoa, Cliff, and U.S. Steel short positions are paying off in that direction. Lots of auto framers to choose from. I'll let you read that. Pinches in Pfizer, American Express, and Verizon, but otherwise not. A ton of Godzillas, including a couple that are in Fuego, including Target. Blended commodities, metals and mining. Looking at daily performances. Let's see. So the techs were all better than the market today. So there's the market up basically flat. But Texas Instruments, NVIDIA, and Intel, the semiconductors are smashing things left and right. Tesla is now above 200. That's key. Apple doing well. All the metals suffering, so that's the short side opportunities are still there in metals. Cliff was down 1%, U.S. Steel 2.3, Alcoa 2.5. So, Alcoa is the easiest one in that batch. Until its weakness becomes a strength, so you got to be mindful of that. That is a cycling, rotational stock. It's a trader, I should say, not traitor. Still being dominated by the winter, but a considerable number of things in the summer that are really doing well. Not surprisingly, the U.S. large caps, tech, small caps. So all your speculative leaders in the U.S. are getting it done. Over here, Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, Cisco, Apple. 5 out of the 7 in the summer are techs. 4 of them are well above the Red River. Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, Cisco. Cisco, Tesla, Apple, and AI. I just added AI to the stack. The Qs and XLK, and the large cap US getting pulled north by tech. And then your trader value: marijuana, Tesla, clean energy, metals, Devon, Intel. There's your top 10. These are very liquid and very tradable intraday. All right, that's everything for today. Take good care. We shall see you tomorrow.
Did you get my email with the
Yeah, just a second. Let me turn off the recording.